Welcome back to Press Review In Depth. The British government is preparing to launch imminent airstrikes in Iraq, joining the United States and a coalition of Gulf monarchies. I'll take a look at what journalists and commentators are saying about this and how it compares to the offensive of 2003. Patrick Cockburn asks in The Independent, on the eve of yet another war in Iraq, is the UK's strategy any more coherent than in 2003? Cockburn writes, the Prime Minister says that lessons have been learned from British military interventions in Iraq and Afghanistan, but it is telling that he did not mention intervention in Libya, for which he himself was responsible. He adds, in Libya, what was sold to the public as a humanitarian bid by NATO forces to protect them, the people of Benghazi, from Muammar Gaddafi, rapidly escalated into a successful effort to overthrow the Libyan leader. The result 3 years on is that Libya is in permanent chaos, with predatory militias reducing their country to ruins as they fight each other for power. The article says Mr Cameron draws comfort from the fact that the UN Security Council has received a clear request from the Iraqi government to support it in its military action against the Islamic State, but this is a government who lost 5 divisions, a third of its army of 350,000 soldiers, when attacked by 1,300 ISIS fighters in Mosul in June. He adds, if the US, Britain and their allies intend to prop up a weak Iraqi government and army, it's misleading to pretend that this can be done without a much more significant level of intervention. He concludes that the US and British alliance with Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Bahrain and Jordan, all Sunni monarchies, creates another problem. It's hypocritical for Mr Cameron to pretend the US and UK intervention are in support of democratic, accountable and inclusive governments when he is in a coalition with the last theocratic absolute monarchies on earth. The UAE newspaper The National says after the airstrikes, Iraq will require a political solution. National journalist Alan Phillips writes, it was a very different Barack Obama who spoke at the UN Security Council on Wednesday to tell the world of the generational task required to dismantle ISIL's network of death. This was the same man who declared 12 months ago that the world was more stable than it was 5 years ago. He adds it's not unthinkable that the new Iraqi government could regain control of the 1/3 of its territory overrun by jihadists. ISIL rule in Iraq could collapse due to their brutality and ideological obtuseness, as happened to the old Al-Qaeda franchise, which was driven out by the tribes of Anbar province. He writes, much as President al-Assad wants to be seen as a partner in the fight against terrorism, none of the coalition members wants to go into battle for him. He adds, American pundits are speculating that Washington may follow the policy of containment that prevailed during the Cold War to stop the spread of ISIL. The author concludes, the American public opinion will not want a real war in the Middle East. In the end, it may be up to the regional powers to sort out this mess. And for more updates, please visit levant.tv. And subscribe to MidEast In Depth on iTunes. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.